Do you think transgender persons have both the genitalia? Yes, no, maybe. Let us discuss today about the biology of transgender persons. When a child is born with a genitalia or gonads or chromosomal pattern which is different from the original definitions of male and female bodies, then that person is not known as a transgender person but a person with intersex variations. Transgender person, in contrast, is actually the internal sense of being of one gender, either male, female, neither, both, or anywhere in the gender spectrum, whatsoever may be their sex when they were born. Sometimes there is a confusion between the words which are used to describe a transgender person, which makes the things tricky for the doctors and others who wants to help them. It was a long time ago, in 1910, when a person named Magnus Hirschfeld came up with the word transvestite. The term transvestite was used to define the persons who like to wear the clothes of the persons of their opposite gender. Then in 1940s, another US-based psychiatrist named David Caldwell coined the term transsexual to describe the person who took medical treatments to transition their gender. Later, in 1967, a person who is pioneer in transgender medicine named Harry Benjamin used the term transsexual people in the literature, which made this word more well known in the present context. Very recently, World Health Organization has removed the transgender person from the International Classification of Diseases 10 because today we know the biological reason behind why the person feels like of an opposite gender. In the recent version of International Classification of Diseases 11, WHO removed the transgender person from the disease and instead coined the term gender incongruence, which was kept as a separate section under the heading of sexual health and wellness. The term gender dysphoria is actually used to define a person who feels their sex assigned at birth is different from their gender identity. There are multiple literature. Let me quote one of the surveys from Netherlands, which found out in 2014 that at least 3.2% of the people felt gender dysphoric during their childhood. This can be very challenging for us as a healthcare providers, as there is not much information available in our textbooks about the transgender as well as non-binary populations. Many factors can influence how a person's gender identity develops. Some of these factors can be biological in nature, and there are three key biological factors which influence the gender identity in a person. So the first is prenatal, which is before birth. Second is the hormones, which is androgenic factors. And third is about the neuroanatomy, that is the structure of the brain. Let us discuss these biological factors one by one. Evidence from studies in animals like guinea pigs have shown that when testosterone is induced to a female during pregnancy, then their female offsprings might have a male-like behavior when they grow up. In humans, in a female with a condition known as congenital adrenal hypoplasia, if they are exposed to more male hormone before birth of their child, their female child might have an inclination more towards the boys-like activities when they were kids. Some parts of brain might be different between men and women. For instance, some studies shows that a man might have a larger brain volume and amygdala, while on the other hand, a woman might have bigger cortical structures and hippocampus. There is another part of the brain called as bad nucleus of the stria terminalis in the limbic system, which is used to be associated with sexual behaviors in animals. Researchers think that there might be an association between gender identity and this area of the brain. One of the postmortem studies revealed that this area of the limbic system in transgender women has a fewer number of neurons, very similar to other women. In transgender men, this area of limbic system has a more number of neurons, very similar to any other men. And these changes were not because of the hormone changes during the adulthood, but these changes were developed early during the process of brain development in the child. Another brain area called interstitial nucleus of anterior hypothalamus 3 also has similar differences between men and women. This area is also related to BST and other regions in the brain which are predominantly defining the gender identity and sexual behavior in an individual. Some of the studies suggest that the volume of interstitial nucleus in anterior hypothalamus 3 has the similar volume in the transgender persons with respect to gender identity, what they are feeling. Studies with twins shows that genetics might also influence gender identity. Research on transgender individuals and twins have showed that at least 39% of the identical twins shared the transgender identity, while none of the non-identical twins did. Although some of these studies might be flawed, but still there are some of the studies which suggest there might be a relation between genetic elements and gender identity. Scientists have tried to find out certain genes which are linked to gender identity. Some genes like CYP17 and RYR3 might have been associated with transmasculine identity. So we have overall summarized the biology of a transgender person. For more such informative content, do follow us, like us, and subscribe us. Thank you.